If you're trying to figure out which plan you should be on for Monday.com, I want to walk you through some key features so that way you can figure out which is the best plan for your company.
Hi, my name is Tara, and I'm a certified Monday.com partner and the founder of Simpleday. My goal is to help you build powerful yet simple workflows with Monday.com. If you need help with a custom implementation, my contact details are in the description below. Let's jump into today's tutorial and make Monday the best part of your week.
Trying to figure out which plan you need to be on for Monday.com can sometimes be confusing because you don't necessarily understand all of the features if you're not using the platform already. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the different plans and the key features that I think are really important and why you would choose one plan over another plan. If you feel that you need more personalized help for your specific use case, I suggest that you look at the comments below or the link above where we've created a quiz that you can answer to figure out what the best Monday.com plan is for you. I'm going to be walking you through the pricing page on Monday.com because I think it will be easier for you to follow the features and then understand what they are. Now, the first thing to note is that on the top of the page, you have an option of 3 different products. You have the CRM product, work management, and dev. These are all different products that Monday offers. You do need to pay separately per product. I am not going to go into the specifics of each product because I'm rather going to talk about the general things that you may need of the different plans, like Pro versus Enterprise. Here you could see the 5 different plans. So I'm really going to focus on the overall difference as opposed to being very product specific, because you're probably going to know what product you need, like depending if you need a CRM or work management. And maybe I'll make another video about that. But this is really talking about the general differences between the plans because they're pretty standard throughout the different products. So that being said, the first thing that we're going to look at is the number of seats. So as you can see, it starts with 3 seats. Now for a paid plan, the minimum is 3 seats, and then it goes to 5, and then it jumps by sets of 5. So you can't just have, let's say, 7 seats. You would have to go up to 10. So that's an important thing to keep in mind when you're thinking about how many seats you need. The other thing that I do want to point out is that if you sign up for a yearly plan, it actually is cheaper than if you pay monthly. So I highly recommend looking at that. Now, let's jump here to where we see the first list of features that are explained for the difference of these different plans. We're going to start with the free plan, and here you get up to 3 boards. So you have 3 different boards within Monday.com. Now, all the other plans has unlimited boards. So again, you have to think about how many boards are you going to need? Most companies need more than 3 boards. So, that's like a pretty limiting factor. You also can only have up to 2 seats on the free plan. So once you're more than 2 seats, you definitely need to go for a higher plan. All of the plans have unlimited docs, which is something called Monday Docs, and they all have different templates. Okay, so you can use all of the templates in all of the different plans. Now, when you go to the CRM product does have different templates for the CRM based on your different plan. But these we're talking about like the main Monday templates that people have added to the template center. Within the free plan, you're also very limited with the column types that you can use. So again, you need to think about the functionality, and I'm going to go into that a little bit later into what the different columns and which ones are on what plans, because that's really important depending on what you want to do. And you do have apps in all plans. So the free plan is really for someone that's really getting started. They don't have budget to invest in this. They only have up to 2 seats, and they're really using Monday on a very, very limited scale. So depending how serious you are, you can get away with the free plan, but you're really, really limited and you're not taking full advantage of all of the wonderful Monday features. Now let's go up to the basic plan. So the basic plan has everything that we spoke about in the free plan, but it also has unlimited free viewers. What that means is that I'm paying for a certain number of seats, starting with 3. So I can have 3 people in my company that are going to be using Monday, and I'm paying for their plan. But then I can have unlimited viewers. Now, viewers can be people inside my company, so they have the same email address, but they're not going to actually be using Monday functionally. They're just going to be able to view the information. It's like read-only access. So here you can have unlimited viewers for your plan. A lot of times people have stakeholders or a board of directors that don't need to use Monday, so they don't want to pay for a seat. So this is a way that they can access these boards. And then this feature is available for basic and all the way up. You also have unlimited items on your boards. Again, how many items you're adding to boards, and this goes for all the plans moving up. And here you start at 5 gigabytes of storage. The plans, as you go up in plans, it goes up in the amounts of gigabytes. Right now, at the time of this recording, Enterprise is like at 1,000 GB. Pro is at 100. So depending how much information you're going to need to store within Monday, that's an important feature to take into account. You also can create a dashboard based on one board. So what that means is that you're pulling information from one board and pulling it up to a dashboard. On the Pro account, you can pull from 10 different boards to one dashboard. And on the Enterprise, you can pull from 20 different boards to one dashboard. So this is where you need to think about, like, how many different boards are you going to have that you're going to want to roll up data to a dashboard to pull that information. Like, I'll give you an example. If you are a web design company and you have a different board per client, and you want to roll up all the information about all those clients, so you need to think about how many boards you're going to have. That's going to help determine which plan you should be on. Now, continuing with these high-level features, we're going to go to the standard plan. So you also have a timeline view and a Gantt chart. So if you work with those views, I highly recommend, you need to start at least at the standard. You also have the option for a calendar. You also can add guests. Now, what guests mean is that you can have someone that's not part of your company, so they can't have the same email address, because let's say they're a freelancer or someone that, I don't know, you've an advisor or whatever it is that you've hired them. They can access your Monday.com boards and they can see the information and they can use the boards, and you're not paying for their account. On the standard plan, 4 guests equal 1 paid member. On the Pro plan and Enterprise, you have unlimited guests. So when you're calculating the number of seats you need, that's an important factor to take into account. The other thing that's really important is Monday is great for automations. Automations help you save time, become more efficient, because you can automate things. Like, I can automatically send out an email or get a reminder. On the lower plans, the free and basic, you don't have any automations. The standard plan, you're starting with $250 per month. Not so many, but you also need to think about what you're going to do. Like, if you want, let's say, a reminder every single day to do a task, so that's already 30 automations. So you kind of need to think about how much are you going to automate. I highly recommend using automations because they're just saving you time and helping you be more efficient. Once you go to the Pro plan, you get 25,000 automations a month. And on Enterprise, you get 250,000 a month. So depending on how many people are in your account and how much you need to automate, it's important to keep those numbers into account. Now we're going to move to the Pro plan. Most of the people that I work with are on the Pro plan or Enterprise. The reasons that I recommend the Pro plan is because if you're really serious about running your business on Monday.com, you really need dashboards and you really need insights. You only get these dashboards fully with all the features starting on the Pro plan. So my recommendation, if you're really serious, I would start on the Pro plan, and maybe Enterprise is for you and maybe not. A lot of times that's a budget concern, but I think the Pro plan has a lot of really great features for a very, very reasonable price. So I usually recommend the Pro plan. So we're going to go through some features that are there. You have private boards, which means I can make my own board and I don't need to share it with anyone in the company. I have a chart view, which you can see I can track information like how many leads over time, how many people came from each source in my CRM, a whole bunch of information that you can track in pie charts, bar charts, and all these different types of charts that are really, really helpful. You also have time tracking. If you're tracking time for your tasks, then you really need this column. What this column does is it allows you to start time and end time so you can have a time total. So like what I do in my business is I have a time tracker column on a task board, and every single task that we do per client is time. So that way I know at the end of the month, how much time did we spend on that client? So this is really useful data that you have directly in Monday. I will say on a side note, there's a lot of apps that do this as well. But if you want the time tracking column, you need to be on the Pro plan. I already spoke about the automations. Oh, I see I skipped the formula column. The formula column is a great column that allows you to do formulas. So you can do things like what if you have an hourly rate and how many hours you worked, you can have a column that gives you the total, how much is owed to you, like in a revenue type of board. So if someone works 5 hours and they charge $100 per hour, so then you can calculate you owe $500. There's a lot of different formulas that you can do. Like what's the duration of something, like from the start date to end date, how many days, how many months, adding up different figures. The formula column is really, really also a key thing that I think if you're serious about Monday that you need, because you need to be able to calculate formulas. So that's another really important feature on the Pro plan. Now we're going to jump to the Enterprise plan. Now they have a lot more, like I said, automations and integrations. They have multi-level permission. So you have a lot more permission options. On the Pro plan, and I think the lower plans, you can say like, okay, I want to hide this column from either editing or view. But on the Enterprise plan, you have very specific permissions. Like someone can see this and not see that, or different things, like they can create automations, but they can't create something else. Like there's a lot of multi-level permissions. So that's a really important thing to look at. You have more reporting and analytics, like you have a pivot chart. You do have the option, if you sign up with Monday, to have a tailored onboarding, and you have more support. And here it says that you can add 50 dashboards. I think it's at 60 already, but I could be wrong. So, and that is something that is constantly changing. So now that we covered the basic like overall features, we're going to go into a complete featured list, because there's really a lot of features that you get. So here we see the maximum number of seats. On free, it's 2, and any of these other plans is unlimited. The number of items on the free plan is 1,000. Everything else is unlimited. Here you can see the file storage limit. So as it goes up, you can see that you have more storage. You can also track the activity log, like what happens within your account for different amounts of time. So, on standard, you're 6 months, Pro, you're 1 year, Enterprise, you're 5 years. You do have unlimited boards starting basic up, so you can create as many boards as you want. Unlimited docs is also basic and up. All of your column types, again, basic and up, you have all the column types except for like a formula and time tracking that we spoke about. The templates are everywhere. The apps is everywhere. Messages and updates is everywhere. So I'm not going to go through the details of that. Also, integrations and automations. We already spoke about the different limits, and you can see that they're highlighted here, and the free viewers, which we already touched on. I'm actually going to skip some of these things. I'm going to go to guest access, which is what I spoke about, that here you can have 4 guests is counted as 1 seat. And for Pro and Enterprise, they're free. You also have forms on all of them, but here you can custom brand your forms. I'm just kind of trying to highlight the most important things. The time tracking that I said is only on Pro, the formula column, also a dependency column. If you want to have automation say that like this item is dependent on something else, you can only have that in Pro and higher. And you also have the workload widget. The workload widget allows you to allocate resources to understand either how much effort or how much time or how many tasks each person has per day. So that way you can see if they're over their time or under their time and be able to allocate tasks and resources. Now we spoke about this activity log, the dashboards. Here we said 10 and here's up to 50. Again, I think it may be 60. You do have a Kanban view for all of them, but starting with standard and up, you do have a timeline view, a calendar view, and a map view. Map view is great if you need to like chart locations, like how far things are, or let's say like how many states all of your clients are in, or things like that. And the chart view, which is a really important view, you only have on Pro and Enterprise. I'm actually going to skip some of this support. You have the knowledge base for everyone, but just really quickly, you have emails, the customer support starting at basic. They are really quick to respond. And I find that the support is really good. Now I'm going to jump into something that's a little more geared towards Enterprise, which is the security options. So everyone has these first 2, but you also have Google authentication only starting on Pro. And then you have all these things: single sign-in, HIPAA compliance, IP regulations, content directory. All these higher level security and permissions is only on the Enterprise. So if you're very concerned about these security features, you definitely do need to explore the Enterprise version. Again, we spoke about some of the different controls that admin has, and you see that on the Enterprise version, you have different things like an audit log, session management, panic mode, private workspaces. Again, ways for security to control data, control who sees what. And most of these are available on Enterprise. And you also have some higher level dashboards on the Enterprise version. Overall, just to summarize everything I said, I think that it's important to look at the number of seats that you need and what type of features you need. Think about security, think about dashboards, think about the number of boards that you need to connect. Think about what information you want to see. Do you want to see dashboards? Do you want to see a workload, a calendar, a map view? All of these things will help determine what plan you need to be on. If you need more help figuring out what plan, feel free to reach out and we can help you figure out which plan you need to be on. And if you want to sign up for a plan, there are links below so that way you can sign up for the correct Monday.com plan for you. Enjoy, and I hope that this tutorial was helpful in helping you make the decision about which plan you should be on.
Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and remember to subscribe to receive tips and tricks on how to use Monday.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.